I love that.
Hi, Danielle. Thanks so much for joining me tonight. Wanted to ask you a couple questions just about our experience together, if you don't mind. And my first question is, what were you doing before you signed on as a client to work with me?
I think the better question would be, what wasn't I doing? I tried it all. Name it in the book. I was doing cleanse after cleanse. I was trying Weight Watchers. I was everything, signed up for this. Oh, a 30-day challenge here, this and that. And I very inconsistent. My weight fluctuated my whole life. So it was just like on a cleanse, it would work. And then I would eat food and then I would go back. And then on Weight Watchers, I'd be like strict for a month and I'd lose weight. And then I was very inconsistent, but I tried everything. Felt like I had to cut carbs for like a month. I had to do that. Like name it, I tried it before I started talking to you.
Okay. So, what did we do together that was so valuable to you?
You throughout the whole entire process, you teach us like all like we have a different relationship with food. Like in my mind, it's like carbs are bad. Carbs are bad. Fruit is bad sugar. Don't have this. And you just kind of, you're like carbs every day. Like this is when we're having it at this meal. And like, this is what you're having and that's it. And you just help us. Well, for me, at least you help me build a better relationship with carbs and know what carbs are good, right? Like know what are good carbs, know what's good fat. Like, and yeah, an avocado's really good fat, but like not the whole avocado, like that you taught throughout the whole process. Like when we switch meal plans about like every 2 weeks, you're like, okay, then we're going to move your fat here. And just like the timing of our days and the way things flow.
Mm-hmm.
And that protein I thought I was like eating enough because I was full. And I remember when you asked me to keep a journal and we went through it all and you're like, you don't have enough protein in your day-to-day life. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm never hungry. And then like you switched it over and like I just realized how important like protein is. And now like, you know, the protein shake, like I always make sure I have protein in my office in case I do, like I forget at lunch, I forget something, because that protein shake is there instead of snacking on like carrots and hummus that I used to do. So it's learned a lot about food, the relationship with food, and that like protein's important. Oh, and the post workout meal, I learned a lot about, because like in my head, I just worked out. So why do I want to just like hurry up and eat something? And you talked a lot about it with me when I was finding my gym, went to lots of gyms. You walked me through like how you have to have a protein and like a carb, and don't skip out on the carb because your body's burning, trying to burn all these fat. So it was a big learning process, and it even helped like with Jake. So like it even led to him, like we'd bring protein shakes to the gym together because I'm like, Tiana says we have to drink them after.
Well, it wasn't just that I said it, like you
No,
actually
you
started
had the
feeling
facts.
yeah,
Yeah, like it all made sense. And it worked, you just taught like throughout the journey of like weight loss. Of course that was important, but like you teach the relationship with food that now like I think I texted you this like a few weeks ago. I was craving Chipotle and I was like, I can make a really healthier version of this on my own. And
yes.
I did it and I was like, okay, I save money and this is a lot healthier than Chipotle's version of my own little burrito bowl. So yeah, you just change the
Awesome.
relationship with food, and yeah.
That's good. So how are you doing things now?
I'm still kind of I feel like I'm a routiner, and I saw that with you from like the beginning.
Yep.
So I still kind of am like sticking to my meals. Like I have all my meal plans, I printed them out. And like kind of sticking to the one where I like love having my avocado in the morning and like having my fruit at meal 3. So like I'm kind of playing around with some of the meal plans where it had some of my favorites. But definitely like sticking to it. But another thing you also taught too, like you can go off the plan and it's always going to be there the next day, or like go off for a meal and then just continue. So, um, with the wedding and everything coming up, I was super strict. And now like we went out to dinner and I was like, okay, I can go out and enjoy, and
Yeah,
then come back the next day and resume. So
absolutely.
yeah,
Good.
I'm stuck on like 4 meals a day. Like I pack everything that I'm like, I'm just so used to it now that this is my
Mhm.
less snacking, more meal eating. Um,
Good.
yeah, it's been good.
Were you nervous about making the investment?
I think because like knew of you prior at
Mhm.
from CrossFit Westchester, well, Westchester Fit now. I wasn't with you, and you're so open. I think I said this to you too. You're so open and honest, like on Instagram. Like you just lay it out on the table, and like this is here, this is me, this is how I was, and you want to know how to lose weight? Like I'm gonna teach you. Um, and I remember our first conversation when I was like, I love my curves. I don't want to like, I'm not a 140-pound girl. Like, I'm not meant to be that little. Like, that is not me. And you were like, I'm your girl. Let's go. I'm going to teach you. And like, the whole thing was just like the relationship with food and like working out and incorporating it. And I, I think because I knew of you and like I said, your Instagram, like you laid it out on the table. You're so upfront and I didn't have any hesitation
Good.
with you
That's awesome. We talked a lot too. We went back and forth a bit for a
prior.
while before. So we had a rapport with
Yeah,
each other.
yeah.
I didn't just like slide into DM, be like, hey girl,
No,
I just
no.
saw you got engaged.
Yeah. No, we built when I went through the like health issue, what I was going through, working out, getting back into it was like really hard because I had to stop for so long because my medication was just not like agreeing with me.
Yeah.
So I remember I reached out to you for like advice of like, what do you recommend? Like I loved CrossFit, but like every time I do it, I'm not like my body's not okay right now. And you like
Mhm.
gradually like, yeah, we built that rapport over that. And then you started posting about your meal plans and I asked some questions.
Yeah.
Um,
Shopping.
but yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was that you're so open like with your clients and you don't hesitate to share your story and your struggles and what you went through. So it just didn't really I didn't really hesitate when I was like, all right,
Good.
my girl.
So my last question is, are you glad that you took the plunge, made the investment and put in the work?
Yes.
Good.
Um, yeah, I looked through wedding pictures and like, yeah, it was my wedding was my motivation, but now I'm like, I just want to keep going because even though like yeah, hair and makeup, the glam, it makes you feel beautiful, but like my dress was a form-fitting dress and never in a million years would I ever thought like I would feel comfortable and like confident in that. And like the whole night I'm smiling. I'm like owning like I just was comfortable in my own skin. So it was just and I think that started like earlier because I remember like one week I gained a pound. You're like, I was like, it's fine. I feel great this week. Like I don't even care about the numbers.
Yeah.
So so glad I did it because you didn't just help me with like the relationship with food and losing weight and exercising. You helped like change our mindset. Um, with you constantly checking in and like I've said this many times, so you become like our friend throughout this whole
Good.
process.
I
So it
love
just
it.
yeah, I'm so happy I decided to work with you.
Awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time um, to just do this little testimonial for me. I am going to stop recording right now.